Hi, I'm Marcin, your favorite bouncer from the Thursday game night, and in spare time, I also develop a Bazel plugin. And today I will tell you a love story about Bazel and your favorite IDE. Right? Happy ending love story. Our goal is to just create a plugin which allows you to open Bazel projects. Everything is green. No errors, highlighting works, you're happy, we are happy, everyone is happy. But yeah, it's not that easy. Bazel provides us very useful tool aspects, and we obviously use them to do our magic. One of our main goals is to actually support wide range of languages/rules. It applies both to bundled in rules like rules Java, rules Python, and similar, but also to external rules created by community, by you, like rules Kotlin, rules Scala, and others. We actually support all of them. But let's stop for a second. Just a quick reminder for everyone what aspects are. So an aspect is a function applied on nodes of a subgraph of the build graph, where you define edges in the subgraph. So you just traverse the subgraph and you can do things. And there's one important side note. Normally, if you develop aspects in your workspace, you can make assumptions about the structure of the project, available rules, all the other things you can imagine in Bazel, and then you write aspects, and worst case scenario, if something fails, you just update your workspace file or aspects, and you are happy. Our case is different because we, with our plugin, open your workspace. So our aspects are not aware of your workspace, of available rules and the configuration there. We just inject our aspects, we execute them on your workspace, but unfortunately brings some issues. But let's talk about what we actually need to collect from your workspace. So there are like trivial things usually defined in build files, like name of the target, sources of the target, dependencies, maybe language version, things like that. But there are also a bit more advanced things, let's say, quite often defined by the rules themselves, which are important from the build tool point of view and from IDE point of view, like Java outputs or class path or things like that. And there is a useful mechanism in Bazel to obtain such things, providers. And there is the old API for obtaining providers. You just use the dot operator and you just use it as a normal field from the target. And there is the new one, the recommended one, I would say, where you actually have to load the provider and then use the square brackets syntax to obtain it from the target, and then you can use fields from it. Is it an issue? Unfortunately, yeah, because as I mentioned, we want to open your project with our aspects. And we support Kotlin rules, for example. And let's imagine a scenario that you just want to open empty project, nothing in the workspace, and we run our aspects with Kotlin support. I know what will happen. Error, yay. Well, Bazel doesn't know about the Kotlin rules, so it's not possible to load the provider, and aspects will fail, sync will fail, IntelliJ won't be happy, you won't be happy, and we won't be happy. So we have a solution, no worries. Well, that's one of the reasons why I'm here, I think. So our whole mechanism starts with a rule detection. So we want to know what rules are available in your workspace. So in the workspace file-based projects, we just run Bazel query with some filtering after that. And we just started working on the Bazel mod support as well, where we probably will call something like Bazel mod graph. to obtain just available rules there and be ready for the next step. And the next step are actually the aspects themselves. So if you open your project with our plugin, you would probably notice a .bazel PSP directory with aspects directory. Because we support multiple rules, we decided to split the rule-specific support into separate files in the rules directory. Here you can see Java info and Kotlin info. And we have the core part, which is more or less rule agnostic. The idea is that it should just traverse the build graph and delegate things to the extensions. And extensions, it's also the name of the file, which is generated by our mechanism. Initially, this file is empty since, well, we have no idea what is there. We run the rule detection mechanism, and we get some info. Completely by accident, there's Kotlin. And yeah, now we know that Kotlin rules are available in the workspace. So we can load the Kotlin extension and add the extension to the extensions array. And next, in the core part, we can actually use this array. So core part just traverses the build graph. It collects all the generic info, let's say, and delegates the rule-specific tasks to the extensions. So it's more or less a simple iteration for the array, and we can collect some additional data used for language-specific support inside Intellij. So finally, we can move to one of the implementations, again, completely by accident, Kotlin, where we are sure that the provider can be loaded without any errors, because this file will be loaded into the aspects only if the Kotlin rules are available in the workspace. So we can safely import the provider, just do some work, even use the square brackets syntax, and be happy, collect Kotlin information, and pass it to the Intellij. So yeah, our general idea is to support as many rules as possible, because we are aware that you actually use a lot of rules. And we want to make your experience as best as possible with that. We actually yesterday kind of announced our beta experimental, not that public release of the plugin. So feel free to try it out. And yeah, I also want to thank Kasia a lot, because she actually implemented vast majority of the mechanism. And yeah, thank you.